What's going on, you guys? It's Ant, and today, back with another video. We're going to be talking about Kevin Durant because he is staying with the Brooklyn Nets. So, literally, Woj and Shams tweeted earlier, literally about half an hour ago, that Kevin Durant had a meeting with Joe Tsai, who is the owner, Sean Marks, and Steve Nash, and he's staying in Brooklyn. They had a meeting in Los Angeles, and I guess it went really well. Because now he's going to stay in Brooklyn. They're going to run it back. They're going to see if they can win a championship this year with this team that they have. Now I believe, in my honest opinion, that Durant at some point is going to want to leave again. But we'll get into that in a second. The reason why he's staying, let's be honest, because Sean Marks, who I believe is the general manager, was asking for way too much from every team that they were doing trade talks with. He was asking for way too much. Nobody wanted to do trades with them because they were asking literally for their best players in return. And I understand that Durant is one of the best players in the league, but you're not going to give up their best players just for Kevin Durant, who is 34 years old. I think he's 34. I think he's really old, and they're not going to give up their star player. For example, Phoenix. They wanted Devin Booker. You gonna give up Devin Booker? No. What you want to do is you want to pair Kevin Durant with Devin Booker and Chris Paul to make that big three. You want to pair Kevin Durant with Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler. Not give up Bam Adebayo. You're not gonna do that. Same thing with Philadelphia. They wanted Joel Embiid. With Minnesota, they wanted Karl-Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards. So you're just gonna leave Kevin Durant all by himself with what, D'Lo? And Rudy Gobert? No, you're not going to do that. So, they were asking for way too much. They were asking for way too much as a franchise. And it's ridiculous. I mean, that's why they couldn't make a deal. With Boston, they wanted their Defensive Player of the Year. Honestly, Boston was probably the best bet. Because, they wanted Jaylen Brown, but then they didn't want, any other significant... They didn't ask for Jason Tatum. They didn't ask for Jason Tatum and everybody else. So that, I thought, could have been the most reasonable trade for the Brooklyn Nets. But like I said, they wanted a lot of their main roster, their core roster. They wanted Robert Williams III. They wanted Marcus Smart. They wanted Jaylen Brown. They wanted a bunch of their guys that are coming off the bench that can give them significant playing time. And no, I mean, obviously, it was right for them not to trade that for Kevin Durant. Because you don't want to, break up that team that literally just went to the finals. So... Now, that's the reason why Durant is not traded. But let's get into why I believe he's going to leave. He might leave by next season. I don't know. Trade deadline, I don't know. He could get traded by the trade deadline still. I just don't think that Durant wants to, especially if they don't win the championship this year. You think Durant wants to stay? You think Durant wants to, let's say, for example, Ben Simmons, right? He comes back and plays virtually the same that he did in Philly, which is not bad. But he needs to do more for them to win the championship, right? I believe that he needs to do a lot more to win the championship. Let's say he doesn't really progress all that much. He's not shooting the ball still. He's still passing the ball way too much. He's not taking too many shots. How do you think Kevin Durant's going to feel if they get bounced out in the conference finals or get bounced out in the semifinals or maybe even gets bounced out in the first round? Because this is obviously a playoff team. You don't think that he wants to leave? He literally, he was demanding so much. He made an ultimatum for the Brooklyn Nets to leave. And you don't think that he wants... listen. This is not going to last. This partnership, this rekindling partnership between Brooklyn Nets and Kevin Durant, you think that's going to last long? They need to win the championship this year for him to stay. This year. Not next year, not the year after. He wants to win now. That's why he picked the number one seed from the East and the number one seed from the West. You want to know why? Because he wants to go to a win-now team. He don't want to go, he don't want to be a part of this because he doesn't think that this team can win a championship. He honestly, I don't think he believes deep down that this team can win a championship. I don't believe that he thinks that. He just decided, you know what, enough. The season's about to start very soon. Let's see if we can work this out. I doubt we win the championship, but even though he could actually... I don't know if he believes that, actually. I think he believes that they can win the championship, but it's just so many underlying issues. Like Ben Simmons, we don't know where he's at right now. He could be playing very well in practice. He could be shooting the ball. He could be shooting at a high level. But then when it comes to the NBA games, he's not going to take a jump shot. He's not going to shoot at all. Same thing, let's look at Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving has not been showing up to play because of, obviously, the vaccine mandates and all that stuff. Even though that's been lifted, you don't know where Kyrie Irving is right now. Obviously, he wants to play. He said that he wants to play, but, you don't know with Kyrie Irving. You don't know. So that's why there's too many question marks for the Brooklyn Nets. But, I mean, talent-wise, Brooklyn Nets, they're one of the top teams in the East, talent-wise. They got Kevin Durant, Ben Simmons, and Kyrie Irving. That big three is lethal. But it's just too many question marks right now. It's just way too many, like, okay, they're a really good team, but will this fit or will that fit? Will Ben Simmons take that huge leap that we all believe that he can be at? We all believe that Ben Simmons is a top 10 level talent, but he's just not there yet because he doesn't shoot. He doesn't, in big moments, he didn't show up. And they need him to show up, especially in the playoffs. So that's just my honest opinion. I really do believe that by the end of the season, when it's all said and done and they don't win the championship, you don't think that Kevin Durant's going to demand another trade to go to a win-now team? Come on, man. We know where Kevin Durant's head is at. He knows that he doesn't have that much time left. Right now he's still playing at an elite level. How much time left before he kind of has a fall off? So they need to win this year. The Brooklyn Nets need to win a championship this year in order for them to keep Kevin Durant for the foreseeable future. They can't wait. They can't wait. So, listen, Durant, I don't know where his head is at right now. We don't know. It seems like right now, for now, that they kind of are healing. They're in the healing process right now between Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets. They are now, back together in a sense. But for how long, though? For how long? They're going to have to probably, let's say they struggle in the season and they don't have a good record. They're going to have to make some trades to see if they can get better by the second half of the season. They're going to have to do a lot of things to appease Kevin Durant. And I understand that they took a side. They took the side of Steve Nash. I believe the owner took the side of Sean Marks and Steve Nash and said, listen, we are backing them instead of Kevin Durant. But you're going to have to do something if you want to win the championship, because Kevin Durant will demand another trade if y'all don't win. I'm guaranteeing that if they don't win the championship, Kevin Durant will demand another trade, and especially if something backfires to a high degree. They get swept in the first round like they did. Because I feel like that could happen again. Depending on who they play, who knows? So, yeah, that's just my honest opinion. I believe that Kevin Durant might want to leave if things go bad for the Brooklyn Nets this season. And, that's pretty much what I feel right now. Obviously, we'll see what happens this season. I'm excited. But that's just my honest thoughts at the current moment. Things could change, and maybe they can win the championship, and he will be happy to play probably the rest of his contract in Brooklyn. So, yeah, that's just my honest opinions. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I see you guys with another video soon. Peace.